Hey everybody, Ryan here at eTrailer. Today on our 2019 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, we're going to be taking a look at the Thule Helium Pro hitch mounted bike rack. So the rack that we have here today can hold up to a total of 2 bikes, but if you need to carry an extra one, there's a 3-bike version available as well. With that being said, my first impression, I think it looks pretty good on the back of the Jeep actually. It's going to be a great compact way to carry around 2 or 3 bikes. Now the way this is going to work is really simple, and that's one of my favorite things about this rack. It's so easy to use and reliable. It's going to hold our bike down in 2 spots here up top, and we're also going to have a strap down here which will act as an anti-sway strap. That way it'll help prevent that side-to-side movement, and we shouldn't have to worry about our bikes kind of banging into each other as we're going down the road. That being said, let's go ahead and take our bike off so we can have a better look at the rack itself. So it has these cool little straps here. When you push down on these tabs, we're able to swing them up and out of the way. The same thing for our sway strap. And then we're able to lift our bike off the rack. Now, what I like about this one is the arms are relatively narrow, and so it's going to be really manageable to pull it off, especially on a taller vehicle like a Jeep, where you're already kind of working above your head, at least in my case. When you get those racks with the real wide arms, sometimes they really have to kind of fight your bike off, and this one's nice and easy. It's not the case at all. It just slides right off. So the cradles here, where our bike's frame is going to sit, are somewhat adjustable, and that'll help accommodate for different size and shape frames. And it's also going to have some soft rubber on the bottom part there, as well as the underside of our strap. So shouldn't have to worry about this scratching up our bike's paint or anything like that. Now I do suggest whenever you're not using the rack, just to go ahead and pop those straps back in place. Now something we do need to think about is the fact that when we have the rack in this position, it is going to extend the overall length of our Jeep. So we're going to take a measurement to find out exactly how much. I'm just going to go through our spare tire all the way to the door, and like this, looks like it's going to be about 37 inches. So although it's not taking up a ton of room, something you do want to think about whenever you're pulling into your garage or maybe even a tight parking spot. These arms do fold down, and if you pull up on this lever, you just swing them down. And now in this position, it's really compact actually. Take that same measurement, I go through up here, and with it like this, it's only going to add about 25.5 inches to the back of your Jeep. So with it like this, shouldn't give you any problems at all when you do go to pull into your garage with that tight spot. One of the big questions that I personally would ask if I was looking for a hitch bike rack on my Jeep is the rack going to clear my spare tire, especially if you have a oversized one? Like in our case today we do. We have a 35 by 12.5 by 17. And up here we have quite a bit of room still. If you measure, looks like about 2.5 inches. So I think it's safe to say, even if you had a very large spare tire, that the rack would still have enough room and clearance to work with your Jeep. Now, as far as having access to the back of your Jeep when you have the bike rack installed, we are going to have a little bit. It is very limited. With it in this upright position, we can open up our back door, maybe just enough to kind of sneak our hand in there and grab something small out. This does fold down, and it really doesn't give us any extra space as far as opening the door. And that's just because our tire is going to come into contact with that. So just something to keep in mind. If that's a really big deal to you and you want to be able to have that full hatch access or to get into the back of your Jeep, there's a solution, and that is the Thule Swing Away Extender, which is a perfect setup for the Jeep, honestly. What it does is it actually swings everything way off to the side, out of the way. You can completely open up your door, put stuff in and out of your Jeep, and call it a day. Or even another solution would be just to pull the rack out. Now that kind of sounds time consuming, but it's really not. And that's because all we're going to have to do is loosen up this knob. and slide it right out. And it's very easy because this is actually made from aluminum, so it's really lightweight and very manageable. So we could just hold it, grab our stuff, throw it in and out. There you go. And this really comes in handy too, being so lightweight and easy. If you want to use a different accessory, say you want to hook up a trailer or throw in a cargo carrier, you're able to pop this out, set it to the side, and put your other accessory in. So one thing that's nice about this rack is the fact that it's going to have an integrated hitch pin. So whenever we're ready to use it, we're not going to have to keep track of a separate hitch pin or pick one up separately. So just a nice touch there. This is going to work with 2" by 2" receiver tube openings like we have here today on our Wrangler Unlimited, but it can also work with the smaller 1¼ by 1¼ receiver tube openings, so it gives us a little bit of versatility there. It's going to be a knob right here, and whenever you tighten this down, what it's going to do is eliminate any play or slop there in the connection point. And so that's going to do a couple of things. It's going to stop your rack from kind of bouncing around when you're going over bumps, and which in turn is going to kind of provide your bikes with a little more of a smooth ride as well. So kind of give you an example how it works. Say if you're going down the road or going down the trail, hitting those bumps, you can see the rack's going to move with our Jeep and not on its own. So at the end of the day, one of my favorite hanging style bike racks. Not only does it look really great, but it's going to be compact, well built, and I really like how easy it is to either put on or take off your Jeep. That way, if you want to use some other accessories, you can do so very easily. And if you're anything like me, you would like to see the rack in action. So let's go ahead and load it up with some bikes, take it out on our test course, and see how it performs. This is our test course. Let's start with the Slalom. This shows side-to-side action, such as turning corners or evasive maneuvering. Then, onto our alternating speed bumps. This shows twisting action, such as hitting curbs, potholes, road debris, or even uneven pavement. Last of all, the solid speed bumps. This shows up and down action, such as driving through a parking lot or parking garage, or driving in and out of a driveway. And that'll finish up our look at of the Thule Helium Pro hitch-mounted bike rack on our 2019 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited.